Would you like to know what separates the entrepreneurs out there making millions from the ones finding themselves on meditation cushions? Well, I hate to tell you, but it's not inner peace. It's not chakra alignment, and it sure as hell isn't the ability to sit in the lotus position for 3 hours straight. It is, however, this: the courage to think strategically while everyone else is thinking spiritually. By the end of this episode, you're going to understand why your competitors are out there eating your lunch while you're busy eating mindful meals. And I'm going to give you the exact framework that turns mental clarity into cold hard cash or whatever else you're looking for in your life.
Your Success DNA podcast. Your success is in your DNA.
What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my fellow success seekers? Welcome back to another episode of Your Success DNA, the podcast for my aspiring entrepreneurs and 9-to-5 escapees. Heck, you don't even need to be an entrepreneur. You're just looking for mindset shifts and habit upgrades and a little dose of rebellion, helping you break from the convention of the world to build yourself not just a business, but a life aligned with your version of success. And if you know someone who's dreaming of ditching the grind, but still finds time for some personal development and some self-help out there, then go ahead and forward this episode to them. Let's talk about what we're going to be breaking down in today's episode. First, I'm going to be exposing the uncomfortable truth about why the meditation industrial complex is keeping you broke and comfortable while selling you expensive peace of mind. Second, we're going to be diving into the difference between mindful awareness and strategic thinking and why one builds businesses and lives while the other builds, well, good posture. And third, I'm going to be giving you the exact mental framework that successful entrepreneurs, that successful people out there use to turn daily clarity into cash flow, decisions into dollars, and focus into freedom. Okay, let's start with the truth that I think is going to sting just a little bit. The meditation industrial complex that's out there today is selling you peace while your competitors are taking action. And this could be in the entrepreneurial world. This could be in the relationship world. While you're sitting there meditating, your competitor is out there grabbing the person that you want as a spouse, as a significant other, whatever it may be. Look, here's the thing. I'm not really here to bash meditation. Hell, I meditate, but I'm here to call out the spiritual bypassing that's disguised as personal development. And I think you know what I'm talking about here. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you. The entrepreneurs who are out there spending more time on their meditation cushions than they do on their business ideas. The ones who can tell you all about their chakras, but can't tell you a damn thing about their customer acquisition costs, right? The ones that can tell you about karma, but can't tell you how to manage a relationship. Those are the ones I'm talking to. Let me tell you about Michelle. Michelle was a brilliant marketing consultant who discovered meditation during a particularly stressful period in her corporate job. And meditation helped, as many of us have found out. It really did. She felt calmer, she felt more centered, and she felt more aligned, right? We've all been there. And if you haven't, give it a shot. You will. So when she finally took the big leap out there to start her own consulting business, what did she do? Well, of course, she doubled down on her spiritual practice. Makes sense, doesn't it? Every morning she would spend 45 minutes meditating, and then every evening she would do her gratitude journaling and more meditation. She had crystals on her desk, had sage burning in her office, and a meditation app subscription that probably cost more than most of her business software. But here's what Michelle did not have: clients. Yeah. What? Yeah. While Michelle was busy manifesting abundance and aligning her highest self, her former colleague, Don, we'll call him Don, he couldn't meditate for 5 minutes without checking his phone, right? Just couldn't do it. Picking up his phone, checking the Google, whatever it is. He was out there having more coffee meetings, sending more cold emails, and building actual relationships with actual people who had actual money to spend. 6 months later, well, Don had a 6-figure consulting business. Michelle had inner peace and a maxed out credit card. You can't meditate your way to $1 million, but you can think your way there. And before my meditation loving friends come at me in the DMs and send me angry emails, let me be clear. Meditation isn't the problem. No, like I said, I meditate. The problem is when meditation becomes a substitute for critical thinking, for strategic thinking, and when mindfulness becomes an excuse for mind emptiness, and when spiritual practice becomes spiritual bypassing. Here's what successful entrepreneurs do instead of just sitting in silence, hoping that the universe delivers customers to their doorstep. And I'm going to call this the focus framework. And no, it's not another meditation acronym. Okay. F is for face reality first. So before you can ever think about being mindful, you need to be mindful, full of accurate information about your business reality, full of accurate information about your relationship reality. What are your actual numbers? What is your actual situation? Not your projected numbers, not your manifested numbers, your actual numbers, revenue, expenses, conversion rates, customer lifetime value. And if you're talking about relationships, what are your actual numbers? How many people have you gone out there and talked to? How many hours have you spent engaging with the person or persons that would resonate with you? That many? Wow. No wonder you're by yourself. I'm sorry. I'm tired of pulling punches here. Meditation might help you accept reality, but strategic thinking, critical thinking can help you change reality. Aha. O is for observing patterns, not just breathing. Yes, observe your breath, but also observe the market patterns. Let's stay on the business mentality here for a minute. Observe the market patterns, customer behavior patterns, and your own productivity patterns. The most successful entrepreneurs I know are pattern recognition machines, and they see a blip when a pattern shifts or changes or alternates, whatever. They see what's working and they see what's not. And as a result of that, they can see what's coming next. That's not mindfulness, that's business intelligence. C, create conscious action plans. Here's where meditation and business strategies actually align right down the middle. Okay. Use that mindful awareness to create conscious, intentional action plans. You don't want to say shit like, I'm going to put it out into the universe. No, you want to say things like, I'm going to send 50 personalized outreach emails this week to prospects who fit my ideal customer profile. Yeah, you're still sending it out there to the universe, but it's different, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Now, I want you to understand your mental state and then optimize it. This is where meditation actually will serve my fellow entrepreneurs out there. You're going to use mindfulness to understand three things. One, when you're in your peak state. Two, when you're in your creative flow. And three, when you're at your best at making decisions. Then you're going to structure your business activities around each of those states. Don't just sit there in your emotions, leverage them. And S, strategic silence versus empty silence. There is a vast difference between strategic silence while you're processing information, making connections, and planning your next move, and empty silence when you're just sitting, right? You feel me? Okay. Successful entrepreneurs use silence strategically. They think, they plan, they strategize. They just don't exist in the moment. They use that moment to build their future. And speaking of building a future, if this episode is hitting you a little different and you're thinking, damn, I need more of this, no fluff, no buff kind of thinking in my personal development, then you need to get on the Unleash Your Success DNA newsletter. This is where I share additional mindset shifts and habit upgrades that actually will move the needle in your life and in your business. Okay. Each week, I deliver tactical insights that challenge the conventional wisdom while still giving you tools to think sharper, act bolder, and of course, live better. We're not talking spiritual bypassing here, no fake motivation. I'm not going to pat you on your back if you don't deserve it. You're going to get real strategies for real transformation. Go ahead and head over to yoursuccessdna.com and join the entrepreneurs who are done meditating their way to success because they're ready to create it. Okay, here, my friends, is why this actually matters at a much deeper level. We are living through, I will call this the spiritual bypassing epidemic, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. The personal development industry has convinced a generation of would-be entrepreneurs that inner work is more important than outer work, that feeling good is more important than doing good work, that being aligned is more important than being effective. Here's the thing. The most successful entrepreneurs throughout history were not the most zen. They were, however, the most strategic. They were the ones that could think clearly under pressure, make decisions even with incomplete information, and take action despite uncertainty. Look, this connects to everything we talk about in this podcast. Remember the episode about embracing the imposter syndrome that you might feel? That's not something you can just freaking meditate away. It is, however, information. It's telling you that you are about to level up, that you're stepping into new territory. Use that discomfort strategically. to align yourself. Okay. We're witnessing a fundamental shift in how success is being built. The old model is about grinding away harder. We still hear it from a lot of folks today. Hustle harder. The new model I think is emerging is about thinking clearer, not emptying your mind, but filling it instead with the right information, the right frameworks, and the right strategic thinking patterns. Your ability to think strategically while maintaining emotional equilibrium, that is your competitive advantage in a world full of people who are either all strategy and no soul, or all soul and no strategy. Yeah? You feel me? Okay. So here's your whispered wisdom for this week. I want you to remember one thing. Meditation teaches you to observe your thoughts. Entrepreneurship teaches you to direct those same thoughts. The most successful people I am lucky enough to know do not just practice mindfulness, they practice mindfulness. They fill their minds with useful information, strategic frameworks, and very clear thinking patterns. They use awareness not just to be present, but to be productive. And here's where your specific action step comes in. Right after this episode ends, I want you to do what I'm going to call a strategic meditation. Yeah, I told you I believe in meditation. You want you to sit down, set yourself a timer for 10 minutes. But instead of focusing on your breath, focus on the one specific business challenge that you're facing. Don't try to empty your mind, try to fill it. Think about the problem from different angles than you're normally thinking about it. Consider what your competitors might do to solve the problem. Imagine what your ideal customer really thinks about the problem. And then use that meditative focus not to escape from your business reality, but instead to dive deeper into it. Because here's the secret. You don't need to choose between inner peace and outer success. You need both, but you need them in the right order. First, get clear on what it is you want to build. Then use mindfulness to build it with intention, awareness, and strategic focus. Listen, in a world full of entrepreneurs sitting in the lotus position, waiting for abundance to manifest, I want you to be the one who's strategically thinking your way to success. The meditation cushion won't build your business, but a clear, focused, strategic thinking mind will. Your competitors, they're not meditating their way to millions. They're thinking their way there. Stop spiritually bypassing your way around the hard work of building something real, business or otherwise. Use mindfulness as a tool, not a destination. Think strategically, act intentionally, and build consciously. The world needs what you're building, but it needs you to actually get off your butt and build it. So, with that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action.